Hello! It's my favorite time of the week. We get to look at all the fun and exciting YouTube comments. Last week we had some interesting videos, the Union Arena reveal, the ban list happened, so there's no shortage of good juicy comments to cover today. We're going to dive right in, we're going to discuss. There's some funny ones, educational ones, cringy ones, a little bit of every column, and I'm excited. I like it. I like this a lot. So let's start with Jay Stewart here. I don't know if card shops will even carry UA as a Union Arena. After BBS, I think it's BSS, card shops might not trust another new game. Also, last I heard, UA wasn't doing crazy good in Japan to begin with. So I mentioned that in my video, right? It's not exactly super well selling in Japan. It's less popular than other Bandai games over there right now. Am I really surprised? Not really. When the market is dealing with what seems to be an oversaturation of card games in Japan, then how much money can people really spend on things? Like that's kind of what it comes down to, right? You know, I can't imagine me doing Digimon and One Piece and BSS and Union Arena. Like, I would rather spend my money on more responsible things or food, like stuff like that, right? Or stocks. That's kind of how it is, and I think some people have similar thought processes. Now, I know that I'm not carrying Union Arena. I'm not even going to give it a shot. I'm not even going to try. I tried One Piece. Yeah, like there's no community around me for it. BSS didn't even take off here at all, not even close. So I'm not gonna bother with Union Arena at all. But I know that stores will, and stores will be fine with it, and that's pretty cool. Uh, this is Joshua EXE. Jeff Jones had a pretty insightful tweet. He was a part of the test and focus group for the West's release. Stated that the game play was lackluster. Bandai seems like they understand this game will be more for collectors and won't be supported competitively. So maybe better news for the Digi community, although Bandai's competitive support for that game killed it for me. Yes, we know that Josh doesn't play Digimon anymore. We know. It's sad. It's depressing. I miss the guy. But it is what it is. Bandai has killed the game for hundreds, if not thousands of people. Maybe thousands is a bit much. Hundreds for sure. Now, talking about Union Arena though, I truthfully believe after looking at some of the game myself, that doesn't look super competitive. It looks really easy. And I guess that's fine for some people. I don't know. I think it'd be a blessing in disguise if it wasn't a competitive card game in the sense that they won't put all their focus into doing tournaments for it. But Bandai, knowing Bandai, it's weird because One Piece is like their goat right now. I don't know if they're gonna give up One Piece traction to also throw more Union Arena in the mix. If anything, they'll take it away from the other card games, which really sucks for me being a Digimon player. But it is too soon to tell what they're gonna do with it. I'm sure Bandai's gonna do something with it in terms of tournament play. There's no way they don't. Because, yeah, it's a collector's market, that's fine. But you also need competitive players to buy your product if your game is going to sell really well. It won't just be collector bait. There's no way it'll work like that. So that's my thought process. That's my 2 cents anyway. What'll happen, though? I don't know. We'll find out. Danny G. Shout out to Danny G, by the way. Danny G, you're a goat. You're a good guy. It worries me because Digimon prize support is already lackluster. Digimon is my main hobby, and even I've joined One Piece just because it is better pricing at the moment. Hope this won't make them forget Digi another year. Yeah. I don't disagree with any of this, and my hope is exactly identical to this. Next week, I'm going to be talking a little bit about One Piece on the channel, and we're going to cover this point about One Piece as better pricing at the moment next week. So I'm not going to spoil my sauce now. But this is all true, and hopefully Union Arena doesn't dip into Digimon's cookie jar. Vexeris3428 with an observation here. Is this the third week in which nothing is happening on the market? Why cover it still? In headlines, your show every morning episode, you say the same thing. Nothing. Why not start with something else more relevant? EX, Meta, Tier 1 Staples, then come back to Blitz on the moments with Ice Antibody when the price start moving in. This is a very interesting reason. Silent Magician is also on that boat, but Tradition, says Ray Night Gaming, and Online's my favorite one. I do it because it's a thing called branding, right? I'm going to give you an example of what branding looks like. Let's say I was the fake Market Watch guy. You know who I'm talking about. And then like, what I do is I start off my thing with watching on the ones, even though there's nothing happening. It's like turning on the Weather Network just to say, oh, it's going to be sunny today. Already knew that. Thanks, Weather Network. It's kind of like the same thing there sometimes, but sometimes it's raining, and you gotta know that. But anyway, so I do Omnimons because it's like tradition. It's what I do. Omnimon, by the way, is my favorite Digimon, and I watched the first movie before I finished watching the whole Season 1 thing. It was that, as a kid, that got me into Digimon. It's probably the only reason that I'm even consider doing Digimon in the first place. Because it's got that deep nostalgic value. Plus the game has competitive attributes to it, which are really cool. Not so much anymore, but that was there's still games fun. Anyway, so on the tradition, it's about branding, it's about doing something consistent, right? I could be like the fake Market Watch guy who hides underneath his desk like this, and then you hear a ding 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 ding, and then whoa. You ask me what's a little more appropriate for a Market Watch start. Just throwing it out there. And sometimes Omnimons do change. Sometimes there is stuff and things to do. This is how it is. If you don't like that, you can watch the other guy and miss out on opportunities, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure I don't watch his Market Watches. I'm sure they're fine. Silent Magician 7. Should have looked at all the available Demon Lord cards. There's been movement on them, especially the cheap ones like Creepmon. I guess people are remembering EX2 Beals going from 2 to 20, particularly overnight during the Beals hype. EX6 has people preparing for something like that to potentially happen again. I can't remember when it was. It was either a week ago or with a Market Watch 2 weeks ago that I mentioned Demon Lord cards. Keep an eye on them. Invest in them. EX6 is coming. I don't think I have to rehash the same message over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Sometimes I do if it's like really, really important. But usually I try not to do that because I don't want to come off as repetitive or boring. That would be annoying. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's not wrong. The Demon Lords are moving to a certain extent. They are. You can look at them. However, if I covered every card with a noticeable change on Market Watch, they would be an hour long. And ain't nobody got time for that, in my opinion. Brady Harget official. I know people say the game is dying, but it feels like the opposite to me. Maybe just because the area is booming with a huge dedicated community. If it is growing, that's mostly great, but my worry is that if the player base does continue to grow, older cards are going to continue to get more and more expensive and hard to find. This could just be the ramblings of relative new coming. The reprint set really helped, as Silent Magician pointed out here. It really did. But, before this, it's true. It was hard to get certain older staples, right? Now, older staples are getting more and more and more phased out, and the ones that are still relative to today's meta seem to be getting reprints out the butt. So I don't think that's going to be a big issue, but it's a good concern, and I'm glad that he brought it up. It's a good one. Clubbing Seal Club. Lightsworn. Back in my day, we called it Dredge. This is a Magic player talking about his graveyard deck. Yeah, Dredge is the Magic version of Lightsworn, and Beelzemon is the same version of that. Every deck's got most games have a mill deck. Mill decks are cool. I also play Dredge in Magic, both Modern and Legacy for fun. It's really cool. I like my graveyard decks. Digimon equals Greymon TCG from X Bonds X. I agree, 100%. Very astute observation. Eduardo Marin 2634. Where is Lord Farquaad? I don't know. If you find him, though, let me know. He's looking for the princess, I think. World Blue 93. Hot singles SecCon players on your area. On your area. Yeah, I just included that because it's funny. It reminds me of that one time. Yeah, that one comment video. The thumbnail was hot singles in your area. And it was like a picture of the alternate art Junomon, which you still don't have in English, by the way, I don't think. And this looked very inappropriate. Yeah, it's a thing. It's very funny. I might use it as the thumbnail again. We'll see. I don't know. OneE Burrito. This guy's a Beelzemon player. I'm probably late or just haven't been paying attention to it. I have a question that is completely irrelevant to the video. Do you think Ancient Grey would be viable in this format? I'm thinking yes, with the addition of trainings, possibly make the deck faster, Crimson Blaze having more of an impact on the meta. My short answer is yes. I'm never going to give away my sauce. You see, certain people have these pet decks that they try to make work. Like, for example, some people try to make Machine Dramon work for reasons that are unknown to me. I don't know why. I'm like that, but with Ancient Greymon. Ancient Greymon is one of my pet decks that I revisit every single set, every single format, and I see, is it playable right now? Is it good? Is it viable? I do it with Ancient Greymon, and I do it with 4 Great Dragons and Beelzemon. Consistently, those 3. So, that's really nice. It's a really cool thing. But yeah, short answer is yes. It's viable. Benjamin Wisman, 6567. I'm surprised the Lugamon stuff didn't spike. It was untouched by a ban list and became the best purple deck post-ban. It's true, and it will probably spike later. But we're not in later times right now. We are in still BT14, getting ready for EX5 Nats, getting ready for like an event or 2 for BT15. There's other things that matter. Like, for example, Lugamon doesn't really matter until after the ban list, but the Gagabumon stuff, you know, BT15 is like a Rumon set. That matters a little more than the Lugamon stuff to the community and to the wallet hype of the people juicing the cards. That's the really short answer for that. But don't worry, the Lugamon stuff will go up, and I recommend getting your alt arts sooner rather than later. I do not make vids yet, says restricting a Pokemon is actually the right thing to do. It shows that Bandai cares about the longevity of the player base and game rather than sales. Pokemon was left untouched. Who knows how many players would have stopped playing? Yes. I agree. As a player, I'm happy with the hit. As a player, I'm very happy with it. The next comment, though, will showcase a completely different side. Gardner says, big respect to Bandai. They took a sales hit for the healthier format and player retention for a better game in the long term. But Jay Stewart comes in with, oh no, wait a second. Actually, hall monitor here. I think Bandai already made their money from the set. Distributors had to pre-order. The comment, I left out the rest of the comment. It was long. That's the part that matters. So, as a store, right, I already ordered BT15 because I had to. If I didn't order BT15, I would be losing out on BT15 orders. There's a chance I couldn't get any, right? So, Bandai has already made their money off of BT15. It's already cashed in. It's the stores and potentially distributors that are going to get hosed by this. Bandai is good. Bandai is fine. So, I'm going to address a whole bunch of negative comments in this particular video about the ban list, where I said, as a player, I'm happy. As a card shop owner, I'm not happy. Because people already canceled their pre-sales, their pre-orders, because of the ban list. They said there's no point. Nope, sorry, thanks, but no thanks. I'm like, I can't fault them. They didn't spend any money. It's a dick thing to do. They're not going to pre-order from ever again, these online people. But, you know, I can't blame them, right? So now, as a store owner, if I were to get stuck with a whole bunch of BT15 now because I can't sell it, I'm going to have a little bit of a annoyance, so to speak. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm fine. A, because the store has money, but B, because, you know, I'm a content creator and I can do things like hold box tournaments and I can give away boxes and, you know, open packs for content, open more for content, or you know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm fine. But if I was the average card shop owner of people canceling pre-sales, I'd probably be shitting my pants. I'm being real with you. Now, some stores, they do take pre-sales in the pre-orders in the sense that you got to buy it right now. Like how TCG Player does it, right? If you're pre-buying something on TCG Player, I believe you have to pay. I believe. If I'm wrong, tell me. I believe you have to pay up front, right? So those stores like don't care, right? If they're already buying them, then the player's going to be upset. And the player might be upset with Bandai, and I guess it goes circular that way. If they're spending a lot of money on it. Me, I'm spending a lot of money on it anyway, but like I'm crazy, so my opinion doesn't matter. Going back to the point at hand, though, if it's a store that has a bunch of product coming, but didn't open like pre-orders or whatever, and they're not like me, who can just willy-nilly do things with product and boom, 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 money's made, call it a day, they should be pissed. Because they will be pissed. Unless their community is like thriving, people are going to see the ban list and going to say, okay, fuck it. I don't need it. I don't. it is what it is. Hopefully things will be better in the future, which leads to our last comment of the day. Ron Karahoda. Hopefully Bandai's lesson is to be more careful about power creeping decks cores moving forward. Exactly. The current design team is ass. Straight up, poopy, smelly caca. That's what the design team is. We didn't have problems with the old design team in the sense that they need to basically limit a secret rare and a super rare. Hasn't happened yet. Now, you can make the argument, well, BT9 ruined everything. And, that's a good argument. And you're not entirely wrong. But it didn't really affect people's wallets so much. Unless you bought, alternate arts or things. Take Shoutmo X4, for example. If you bought alternate arts of that, yeah, you have a right to be pissed. I completely understand. But, if you just bought rares, who cares? Yeah, right, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's different, right? Bandai could fix their game by hitting rares and under, not really affecting the wallets of the people who spent money on expensive cards in the most case. 9 times out of 10. Here they just fucked it. They fucked it so hard that it freaking got crazy in there. And they had to hit it hard. Super rare and a secret rare. It's crazy. I didn't see it coming. I don't think Bandai would have the balls to do that. But sure enough, their balls are intact and rather large. So they did. And that's fine. It shows that Bandai is willing to do what's right. But Bandai should have prevented this in the first place. That's kind of the point here. Alright guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you guys later. Bye!